It's 12 o'clock and your mind is thinking about stuff. Let's think about that, shall we? With another Midnight Thought.
Hey, it's Maher, and I'm thinking about signs and languages, and not sign language, but the languages of signs and, pictograms and stuff like that. And the reason why I'm thinking about this, I just came back from Walmart, and I saw a new sign today. I'm used to seeing signs at Walmart. There's been new signs popping up all over the place. There's been some signs that say keep, 2 meters apart, 6 feet apart. Those are popping up everywhere. Walmart and Superstore, they have a new sign that says, please only touch the stuff you want to buy. So you don't go around touching every product before you buy it and spread the possibility for disease and stuff. There's plenty. There's a hell of a lot of new signs right now that say you got to wear a mask before you come into the building. But one of the newest signs that I found today, I'm super excited about this for no stupid reason, actually. It's a new sign that said, due to some limitations, COVID-19 shortages, we might be seeing unilingual products on our shelves. And that means that the product that we're going to be seeing on the shelf is only going to be written in English. Only a label in English, which is a big deal, actually. For those of you who don't know, I'm in Canada right now. In Canada, it's a bilingual country, but the labels are going to be in English for some products due to COVID-19 shortages. And it said on the sign that if we see a unilingual product available on our shelves, the manufacturers are required to display that information on their websites so that if we have to have only an English label, those who are Francophone are able to get the information that they're, legally entitled to get. So that kind of led me to think about, I guess, the supply chain, COVID-19 shortages. It led me to think about, what led us to this point. Obviously, there's money in play because, with the cost of getting products across borders, especially right now with the borders being closed and transportation being more difficult than before, limitations are there. So, sometimes cheapest options are best, but I think money has to be a big factor in it.
Thinking about money. This thought brought to you by QuickBooks for the self-employed. Start your 30-day trial for free at sponsoredthought.com so you can quit thinking about managing your money. Now, back to whatever we were thinking about.
So like I was saying, there's money involved in terms of products being available on our shelves. So, but before we talk about that, let's just talk about the reason why we have bilingual products on our shelves. So I mentioned Canada is bilingual. We have two official national languages, English and French. Not necessarily in that order, but yes, those are it. Some people consider 3 languages if you count the Inuit languages, or I guess the Inuit language in Inuktitut. Don't quote me on that. No. Anyway, so what that means as a bilingual country is that anything that's a government service, anything that's a federal government, a Canadian government service, has to be available in English and French. And there's rules for packaging requirements, products that we have, like a Coca-Cola bottle or Pepsi bottle is going to be labeled in English and French. The ingredients on the back are going to be labeled in English and French. Food products are going to be labeled with nutrition facts in English and French. And the front packaging, sometimes they'll do English and French on one side and have everything on the back bilingual, or they'll go full out and have one side English, one side fully French. It depends what the company does for design and for their packaging. But there are laws in Canada, and I believe it's defined as official. What am I thinking about? I'm forgetting about. Whatever. No, it's called the Official Languages Act. I just looked that up. It's called the Official Languages Act. That is the rule that defines what needs to be available. So, like military is in French and post office in French. I mentioned packaging's in French. Cigarettes and cannabis packaging is all in French, bilingual. And it varies a little bit by province in terms of what you see where. All over Canada, you will find English everywhere, except Quebec. Quebec is, their own little thing. They are going to be doing everything in French. In fact, they're not necessarily non-welcoming to Anglophones, but you're more inclined to get better service if you speak their language. You can still get, of course, government services in English there, but again, French is their priority there. And I believe it was New Brunswick that is the only province out of the 10 in Canada that has bilingualism in their law. So when you look at the different court systems, I guess as an example, federal court, criminal convictions, that kind of prosecution, that has to be available in English and French. From a provincial level, if you live in, let's say, Alberta, you can get a provincial warrant if it gets to court or something. That can be done in English or French. You can do that in Ontario as well, English or French. But not every province offers French services for civil proceedings. If you get a parking ticket from a civil proceeding or a civil enforcement agency, you can request for a service in French if there's one available, or a translator or an interpreter. But the service won't be held in French because that's actually decided by the provincial level or municipal level. You don't have to offer it in bilingual for some provinces. I mentioned New Brunswick is the one that definitely does, because it is in their. It's actually in the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms, I believe. If we're going to be realistic about things, it's actually in there. It's the Canadian Constitution, I guess. So they've got that there. And if you think about the territories, I forgot to mention this. Northwest Territories, Yukon Territories, there are 9 or 10 different Aboriginal languages up in that area. Those are official languages as well for those provinces. Not necessarily available all over Canada, but you can definitely get services there from a government level, because it's their language, it's our language. So you can get things like that. And I believe in those territories, you can get civil proceedings in French. So that's a thought. But again, let's talk about supply chain. Whew. Again, this is where the money comes into play.
Thinking about money? This thought brought to you by QuickBooks for the self-employed. Start your 30-day trial for free at sponsoredthought.com so you can quit thinking about managing your money. Now, back to whatever we were thinking about.
So as I was thinking, when we see products being packaged and we see products being shipped into the international markets, normally there's a supply chain in place that says, certain products are going to be available in this Canadian market, are going to be made in this location, usually based in Canada, probably Ontario. And they have their own packaging production. They have their own everything that's set up to make the products that we have here. A Coca-Cola bottle. I know we have a processing plant here where I am right now. We've got a processing plant all over. You will find local things being done to produce and ship and make those products. But when a global pandemic like COVID-19 hits, you're kind of limited in terms of what can be done where. So not all processing plants are going to be open, and not all production capabilities are there. A great example of this was when Robin Hood flour was running out of production material. Maybe they just didn't have enough bags, or their printer was closed. I don't know what the case was, but they ran out of what they normally package flour. I'm talking like normal baking flour, Robin Hood flour. So they ran out of the normal packaging they used, and they ended up just doing plain black and white, or it was like an off beige. When you think, I don't want to use this reference, but when you think like wartime packaging, a very, very old school ration of plain packaging, small logo, plain text, great product, plain packaging. That's what things look like. You would see that in the shelves, and I saw a sign about that when I saw it on the shelves, plain packaging, because they ran out. There's some economizations that need to be placed so that, if a production chain can't keep up with products being made in-house like they normally do, they have to get products available from somewhere else to keep that chain going. So there's no hole in the chain and it doesn't break. So like what Robinhood did, they kind of said, whatever, we don't care about the color packaging. We don't care about a color logo. People need flour because apparently everyone wants to make sourdough bread. We're going to get bread out on the market in whatever bakes possible. And I think that's kind of happening now with, I think it was a Mr. Clean product, S.C. Johnson, a family company. I think it was their product. Not too sure. So what's happening with there is, the Canadian supply chain is just not able to cope, or the supply chain that feeds Canada for that specific product is just not able to cope with, its normal demands. Obviously, everyone's buying cleaning products now. I have a bottle on my desk right now, right here. So I think what happened in this case was the suppliers or the manufacturers, everyone in charge of making decisions, they're like, do we keep products off the shelf because we can't get them out, or do we kind of break the rule right now to get people what they need? And I think it was a great response, honestly. Like, I know excuse me, I know some people are going to be hating the idea that, we're kind of throwing bilingualism out for a second. It would never happen in it would never happen in Quebec. Never would this happen in Quebec. If anything, they would rather not clean things. They'd rather have Mr. Dirty rather than, an English label probably. But someone made a decision, said, you know what, we can kind of break the bilingual labeling rules. People will understand. And I think I haven't seen anyone freaking out over the rule. I haven't seen any, uproar. As far as I'm able to do, I did a little bit of research kind of before I started talking about this, and I couldn't find anything online about this. You Google, labeling, and nothing shows up saying that this is happening in the Canadian supply chain. So I guess I just started thinking about this and thinking, am I just noticing something? Am I noticing something that just started, or is it there? Is there more to it? Money's involved. The company's got to make money. I'm not too sure where the product came from. Maybe I should look at that next time I see a product with that. But unilingual labels. So that means, I guess, it would say like Mr. Clean, and then the smell would be in French. Like it would say lemon, citron. It would say that in French. Now it just says lemon. People can get used to that, I think. Do you? I don't know. Oh, signs. Yeah, signs are there. If you go to a national park, their signs are in French. You go to Jasper Park, their signs, you have a big says, "Welcome to Jasper." And it says, "You have a new Jasper."
That's enough of this thought for now. If you think you want to think about this thought some more, visit heyitsmahair.com for everything else this kid gets up to.